grade 9s, I hope you're all well. I thought it well to make a video, actually 3 videos that is all to do with paper 2 topics. So the first topic that we're going to deal with is geometry, as well as the second video will be on measurement, and the last one will be on data handling. So if you are preparing for paper 2 exam coming up, this is a very good video to watch, just to remind you of all those questions or the types of questions that can be asked. So what I did is I took all the past papers that I have had over the years, and I've cropped them into one or all in the types of all in the same types of topics that you can get. So this video is all the types of geometry that I've had over the years. All right, so let's get going. All right, so they ask you, given GH is parallel to IJ, which has been indicated, so we just always read the write-up so that we are very certain that we don't miss anything. And KM is also parallel to LN, so over here, those two as well. Determine with reasons the value of A to G in the diagram below. All right, so for A, can you see that it lies around a point? And we have all the values except for A. So then you can work out A. So I'm going to say A plus 70 degrees plus 140 plus 120 is equal to 360 because of angles round a point. And then you're going to work out A as being 360 minus 120 minus 140 minus 70, which gives you A is 30. All right, so when you've got something, go and place it in there so that we can use it to go forward. Okay, now B and C, this triangle over here is an isosceles triangle. So if those two legs are the same length, it means that C and B will be the same size. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. B is equal to C because of angles opposite equal sides. I know some schools accept isosceles triangle, but I know the IB doesn't accept that. You have to say angles opposite equal sides. Okay, then I'm going to say 30 degrees plus C plus B is equal to 180 degrees, and that is because of interior angles of a triangle. But because B is equal to C, I can then go and work out B is equal to C is equal to 180 minus 30, which gives you 150, and 150 divided by 2, which gives you 75 degrees. Okay, so as long as you've got your reasons and the teacher can follow what you are doing, then you're on the right track. Okay, so now we've got A, B, C, D. We can work out, let's get another color over here. D is equal to, the easiest part is angles on a straight line. D and C will add up to 180. You could have done exterior angles of a triangle. A and B is equal to D. Okay, so any way you want to. So I'm going to say D is equal to 180 minus C because of angles on a straight line. And thus, we already worked out C. So 180 minus 75 gives you 105. So again, like I said, your teacher will follow what you are doing. You could have used A plus B is equal to D because of exterior angles of a triangle as well. Okay, then number E is equal to, can you see D and E is going to be equal to each other because of vertically opposite angles. So E is equal to D, which is equal to 75 degrees because of vertically opposite angles. Then we've got E, and lastly F. Sorry, I've run out of space here, but F plus E gives you 180 because of co-interior angles. And very, very important, you can't just use co-interior angles. You have to tell me which two lines are forming your bowl. And can you see that its GH is parallel to IJ? So thus, F is equal to 105 degrees. Again, you could have gotten that F is equal to C. Let me just clean up here a bit so that you can see clearly. F is also equal to C because of the corresponding angles, also GH parallel to IJ. So there's lots of ways to have gotten that. And then I'm going to say F is equal to G because of this F lying over here and these lines being formed here. Let me just draw it nicely. Okay, so there's your F over there. Can you see that these two are parallel? Because this KNL, is also given to you as parallel to KM. Okay, so I'm going to say lastly, F is equal to G is equal to 105 degrees. So remember, you can't just say F is G. You need to say what the angle size is, because they asked you work out the angle sizes of all these unknowns. And then MK or KM is parallel to NL. All right, there we go. 10 out of 10. Let's have a look at question 2. All right, let's have a look at question 2. It says, in the diagram below, AB is parallel to CD, so that has been indicated. Then P2 is equal to P3. That is something that hasn't been indicated on our picture. So it's always very, very important to read the write-up. And O4 is equal to 70 degrees that they've given me. Determine with reasons the value of X. Okay, so just a reminder, I'm going to do it one way. I'm going to do it the way I see it. There might be different ways that you say, oh, but I can also work it out like that. So I'm not going to show all the types of ways to do it. Just maybe if you don't know where to start, you can have a look at what I'm doing. Okay, so this 70 degrees, can you see that that O1 will also be 70 degrees because of vertically opposite angles? Okay, this P2 over here is also equal to Q1 because of alternate angles. And now we've got, it's basically showing that this is an isosceles triangle because the two angles are the same. So then I can work P3 out with interior angles of a triangle. And then I can say that this X over here is equal to the P3 plus the 70 because of exterior angles of a triangle. So there's your triangle. A straight line has been attached to that triangle, and that is then formed with an exterior angle of the triangle. Okay, so let's do that step by step. Okay, just again, P2 is equal to P3. Okay, so I'm going to start by saying O, and please, its angle O is equal to 70 degrees because of vertically opposite angles. And once you've got it, put it in that you've gotten it. And then I'm going to say, but P2 is also equal to Q1. So P2 because of alternate angles. And then you have to state which two are parallel to which two. Sorry, somebody interrupted me, so I don't know where I was, but I'm going to say P2 is equal to Q1 because of alternate angles, and then I had to say AB is parallel to CD or CO. As long as I can see that is the line that you are referring to. Okay, so it could have been CD as well. Then I'm going to say, but P2 is equal to P3, that was given. Thus, P3 is then equal to Q1 as well. Okay, so now I can work out P2, I can work out Q1. So I'm going to say thus P3 plus Q1 plus O1 is equal to 180 because of interior angles of a triangle. And then I'm going to say that P3 is equal to Q1. That was proven. Thus, P3 is equal to 180 minus 70, which is 110, divided by 2, gives you 55 degrees. Okay, I hope you could follow that. So what that means is these two are equal to each other. That means that that one would be 55 and that one would be 55. Okay, however, I just want us to refer to P3 because that's what I'm going to use now to find X. Then I'm going to say, but X is equal to P3 plus O1 because of exterior angles of a triangle. Thus, X is equal to 70 plus 55, which gives you 125 degrees. Okay, there could have been other ways that you worked it out. I could have gotten this as 55. I could have drawn it in and say then P2 is equal to 55. Then I could have used co-interior angles to find that X as well. Okay, so there's many, many ways, just as long as what we can follow from your logic, or that we can follow your logic on paper. So please, if you're not sure whether or not you should write it, rather just write it. Okay, a teacher can always ignore something, but she can never say, but you should have had this, so I can't give you the full marks. Okay, number B, consider the diagram below and prove with reasons S2 is equal to 270. Okay, so S2 forms part of a full circle. So if I can get S1, I can work out S2 with angles on a point. And is there any way that I can get these two values? Now, sometimes we need to rely on our algebra. Oopsie, sorry. Redo. Let me just erase here rather. Okay. So can you see that x plus y plus y will give you 180 degrees? Why? Because of co-interior angles. So I'm just going to write that up and see what it gives me. Because of co-interior angles, so a little bit of a harder one, QR is equal to PT, especially if you haven't been given any sides or what is equal to equal. So then let's try with algebra. So then I'm going to say 2x plus 2y is equal to 180. And then I'm going to divide by 2 all throughout. So each term I'm going to divide by 2, and you are allowed to do that. So x plus y is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so let's see how far that gave me. Can I then work out this S1? So let's write that up. S1, angle S1, sorry, plus X plus Y will also give you 180 degrees. Am I right? Okay, so if you look at interior angles of a triangle, this one plus this one plus this one gives you 180. Why? Because of interior angles of a triangle. I always write interior angles. It can just also be angles of a triangle. But we know that x and y is 90. So let me go and replace x and y as 90. Then I am able to get S1's value, which is 180 minus 90, which is 90 degrees. So now lastly I can say S2 plus S1 is equal to 360 because of angles round a point. Thus S2 plus 90 is equal to 360. Thus S2 is equal to 270 degrees. And that is what they asked me to prove. Okay, I'll also be putting a link to the worksheet that you can do with me in the comments below. So just look for that. Somebody previously in my comments asked, can I not put up the link to a PDF file? And I'm going to do that for you. Okay, let's have a look at question 3. In the diagram below, QT is parallel to RS. and PT is equal to 4 centimeters, and a QT is equal to 2 centimeters, and RS is equal to X. Okay, so everything, the write-up has everything been indicated on my picture. Always double check that everything is there. And they are asking, which I know you all love, you hate similarity and congruency. I don't know why. It really is so easy. They say to you, prove that triangle PQT is similar to triangle PRS. Now, similarity, we can either prove with angle, 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 or all sides in proportion. Now, this one quickly gets eliminated if you don't have all sides, because you need to prove that all sides are in proportion. And most likely, or most of the time, they don't give you all the sides. So the only thing left to prove it with is angle, angle, angle. So now they say to you, prove that PQT, this triangle, is similar to PRS, like that. Okay, now the very first one, can you see that they are sharing a common angle? So angle P is equal to angle P because it's a common angle. If you write a shared angle, I'm sure that's also fine. Now, because they've given me these parallel lines, there must be something that I need to do with it. Can you see that Q1 will be equal to R because of corresponding angles? So I'm going to say Q1 is equal to angle R because of corresponding angles. QT is parallel to RS, and vice versa here as well. That T1 will be equal to angle S also because of corresponding angles. QT parallel to RS. So thus, triangle PQT is similar to triangle PRS, and that is because of angle, angle, angle. Again, remember that I said to you, you can then only prove it with angle, angle, angle. Then they say, hence, determine the value of X. So I want to do my smiley write-up first. So it's PQ in relation to over PR will equal to QT over RS will be equal to PT over PS. Okay, I hope it said it all correctly. So PQ over PR is equal to QT over RS is equal to PT over PS. And that is because all sides in proportion, because triangle PQT is similar to triangle PRS, and that was proven. Okay, and now you can go and replace your PQ. Can you see that sides we don't have? So you can just ignore that fraction over there is equal to QT, which is 2, over RS over there, which is X, is equal to PT, which is 4, over PS. Now, very important, it's those two added together, which gives you 10. Okay, and if your fraction isn't so nice to see what to do, we're just going to do the butterfly. We're going to multiply. 2 times 10 is 20, and X times 4 is 4X. Thus, X is equal to 5, and because it was given to you in centimeters, you're going to add your units as well. Okay, question 4. The diagram below represents a kite. Now, very important, you need to know your properties of a kite. O is the point where line PR and QS intersect, and we know that they intersect at 90 degrees. Hey, so that's one property. We know that PQ will be equal to PS, and because it's a kite, we know that QR is equal to SR. Okay, just things that I'm going to note quickly. Answer the following questions giving reasons for your answer. Prove that triangle PQR so this triangle over here, is congruent to triangle PSR. Okay, so let's quickly start. We can already see congruency. Remember, there's a in the SAS, in the SAA, right angle hypotenuse side, and ASA as well. Prove that triangle PQR is congruent to PSR. So can you see I already have PQ is equal to PS, which is a side. I've got QR is equal to SR, which is a side. And then I've got PR is equal to PR, another side, because they are sharing that side. So I'm going to use side, side, side. Okay, so QP is equal to PS. Let me just stick with my order over here. So I'm going to say PQ is equal to PS because adjacent sides of a kite are equal. Then again QR, so QR is equal to SR. Again also because the adjacent sides of a kite are equal. And the last one, PR is equal to PR is equal to PR, the same side, because it's a common, now very important, it's not a common angle, it's a common side. So then I'm going to say thus triangle PQR is congruent to triangle PSR because of, it's because of side, side, side. Okay. Now, a little bit of a higher order question. It says, determine the sum of x and y. Determine the sum of x and y. So I'm going to quickly clean up and then we're going to look at that. All right, now that I've cleaned up, I just want to again determine the sum of x and y. So they don't ask you to work out x's value and then y's value. They ask you the sum of x and y. So now the only thing that I can think of starting is working with the interior angles of a triangle, and that we know that the diagonals of a kite bisect at 90 degrees. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to say O4 is equal to 90 degrees because the diagonals of a kite bisect at 90 degrees. Okay, so remember, whether you're unsure whether you should write it or not, rather just write it. Okay, and then in that triangle, I'm going to list that x plus r, and if I want to label angle size, let's say there's the r, it's got r1 and r2 over there. As long as you go put a 1 and a 2 and you move on from there using it as r1, r2, as long as we can see it in your picture, then you're more than welcome to do that. Please, you can always add to your picture, okay, is equal to 180. But now I'm going to just get x by itself, which gives you 90 degrees. Okay, so I subtracted the 180, I subtracted the whole equation with 90 on each side, and then I get x plus r1 is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, but now, hang on a minute. Can you see that r1 is going to be equal to y? Why is that? Because I proved already that these two triangles are congruent. So that means that Q1 is equal to Q2. This angle over here will be equal to that angle over there, as well as these two angles over there. So I'm going to say, but R1 is equal to R2, which is equal to Y, as it is given there, because proven that triangles are, not similar, but congruent. So now I'm going to replace that R1 with the Y, which gives you x plus y is 90 degrees. Okay, I hope it makes sense. So x plus that gives you 90, but that is equal to that. So x plus y is equal to 90. And that is your answer. Okay, so remember they say determine the sum of x and y. So x plus y is equal to 90. Obviously, you can't just write that. You need to have all your reasons as indicated here at the top. Okay, question 5. Triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. So ABC is an isosceles triangle with AB, which is equal to AC. Is equal to AC over there. BC is 10 centimeters, BD is 8, and DC is 6. Prove that BDC, so this angle over here, BDC, or that angle over there, is 90 degrees. Let me just write it rather where it's given. Okay, prove that it is 90 degrees. So now how do we prove something is 90 degrees? Please, I always say when you see a 90-degree triangle, think Pythagoras. Okay, so if we get that 6 squared plus 8 squared gives you that 10 squared. So do you see the two sides touching the 90 degrees should give you 10 squared. And then you can say, well, then let's do it. Let me rather write it in as the angle so that you can see what I'm doing. So if I get BD squared plus DC squared, if I get that as BC squared is equal to 10, BC is equal to 10, not BC squared, sorry. So if I can get that, left hand is equal to right hand, then I know that it is a 90 degree. Okay, so if you prove that it's 90 degree, think of Pythagoras. If you've got a 90 degree triangle, think of using also Pythagoras. So BD squared is 8 squared plus 6 squared is equal to 64 plus 36, which is equal to 100. Thus, if I'm going to square root 100, it gives me 10. So thus, triangle BDC is a right-angled triangle. Thus, let me just see what they asked. They actually asked me just to show that D is 90. Thus, D is 90 degrees. Okay, and that is all because of good old Pythagoras. Okay, so please, whenever you use Pythagoras, to list Pythagoras. Then they say to you, calculate AB. Hint, let AD equal to X. So let AD equal to X, and they ask you to calculate AB over here. All right, so let's see. What are we going to do? Okay, again, I'm just going to start writing down. This is a higher order question, so it's a little bit harder, and I'm going to do it over here. So calculate AB. I'm just going to write it here. B was calculate AB. All right. So AB, we know, is the same as AC. So if I can get AC's value, then I know that it is equal to AB's value. So basically what I need to get is this X over here. Okay, now, if you think of Pythagoras, this one was 8. This one is plus X squared will give you AB squared. So let's just write it up and see what I can get with that. So I'm going to say 8 squared plus X squared is equal to AB squared, and that is because of good old Pythagoras. But then I also have 8 squared plus 6 squared is equal to 10 squared. Let me just see where I'm going with this. Okay, so now I'm going to replace this AB squared with AC squared, because we know that AB is equal to AC, because here I've got some values. So I'm going to say 8 squared plus X squared is equal to AC squared, and AC is AX plus 6 squared. Okay, so do you see how you have to write down See where you can replace perhaps with a value. And now with this equation, we only have an x which is missing, which means that we will be able to solve it. Okay, so if we solve x, we can go replace x in there, and then we can say those two added together will give you the same as AB. Okay, so I'm just going to explain that again. So I've got 8 squared plus x squared. That's why they told you, hint, make it x. So which means we'll have to use it somehow. So 8 squared plus x squared is equal to AB squared. Okay, that's because of Pythagoras. But AB is the same as AC, so I could have written that there as well. But AB is equal to AC, that was given. So 8 squared plus x squared is equal to, now the AB I'm going to replace with AC. And AC's value is in terms of x plus 6. So if I go and replace it, I get that x plus 6 squared. So I'm going to continue my sum here at the bottom. So it's 8 squared plus x squared is equal to, 8 squared plus x squared is equal to x plus 6 squared. So 64 plus x squared is equal to x squared. If you double up that bracket and FOIL out, you'll get x squared plus 12x plus 36. Okay, now x squared and x squared, if you take it over, it will fall away. And then you're left with 64 minus 36 is equal to 12x. Thus, x is equal to, which gives you 7 over 3. So AB is equal to 7 over 3 plus 6. So if I add 6, I get 25 over 3. Okay, so not a nice answer, and that is why it's a little bit of a more tough question. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Yeah, so these are the harder type questions. I'm not doing the easier type questions now. These are all section B. Especially if you're used to the IB questions where you've got section A, section B, these will be section B most definitely. Okay, a little bit of easier questions. Sorry, I didn't go and write this up from easiest to hardest. I've just copied and pasted. So this is more a level 1 or level 2 type question. So it will be in section A. It says in the diagram below, AB is parallel to CD and JK is parallel to MB. HJK, so angle J over there is equal to KJB, which is indicated. Oh, sorry, I keep on yawning because it's so hot, and we're going through like a heat wave at the moment. Okay, so it's I'm sitting in my class and I'm working through these videos. Okay, so it's equal to XX, so just showing you that they're the same size. And CMG is 60 degrees, which luckily they've indicated. Then they say write 3 other angles that are equal to X. So let's have a look. Can you see that B2 will also be equal to X because of alternate angles? So you don't have to state the reason, we can just say which angle is equal to that. And if you continue with that, can you see that M1 will also be equal to X? And another one that would be equal to X, let's think a bit, let's have a look. If you've got your F over here, if I can just highlight that for you, can you see that because that is X, M2 will also be equal to X? Okay. Determine the size of MJA. MJA. Let me just clear up here a bit. So they are looking for MJA. Okay, determine the size of this angle over here. And can you see that MJA will be equal to 2x because of vertically opposite angles? Okay, so angle J is equal to 2x because of vertically opposite angles. Okay, oh sorry, you didn't even actually have to state that. I think they will find x later just now. But MJA, can you see, is equal to 60 degrees. Why? Because of the corresponding angle, because AB is parallel to CD. So later on, I'm sure they'll ask you, yes, to find x. So they just lead you up to that question. So angle J is equal to 60 degrees because of corresponding angles. Very important, you have to say AB is parallel to CD. Hence, determine the value of x. So now we can say x plus x is equal to 60 degrees because of vertically opposite angles. Thus, x is equal to 30 degrees. Okay, so let me just show you here, because that is 60 and these two are vertically opposite angles. So x and x together gives you that 60, which will make x 30 degrees. Okay, then they say to determine the size of J3 over here. So because of angles on a straight line, that's quite easy. So J3 will be 120 degrees because of angles on a straight line. And then what type of triangle is triangle MJB? MJB. Okay, remember here in the beginning we said B2 will also be equal to M2, which makes it an isosceles triangle. Okay, number B, calculate with reasons the value of x. Okay, so now let's have a look. They've given me parallel lines over here. Oopsie, sorry, I just put my charger in. Parallel lines, which means that x plus 10 will also be here. Why? Because I'm walking down the corridor and I see a big F. So if I had to extend that, can you see the F lying down? Which means that x plus 10 is equal to, I'm going to call it D1. So I'm going to add an angle size. Angle D1 is equal to x plus 10. Why? Because of corresponding angles. We have to label AB parallel to DE. And then I'm going to say, well, x plus 10 plus x plus 70 plus 28 will give me 180 degrees because of interior angles of a triangle. And because we only have one variable missing, which is x, we can work out that x. So x plus x, there is 2x. 70 plus 10 is 80. 90, 108 gives you 180, which gives you 2x is equal to 72 degrees, and if you divide with 2 on both sides, you get x is 36. Okay, in the figure below, O is the center of the circle, and study the diagram below and answer the questions that follow. So remember, whenever they give you a circle, it's not just because they want to be funny and put it in a circle. We always have to remember that from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle gives you your radii. And what is nice about a radius is that it's always the same length. Okay, so already I must see that z is going to be equal to 38 because of the isosceles triangle, which is angles opposite equal sides. Okay, so first question is calculate the value of x. So can you see that x lies within a triangle? Not just any triangle, a right angle triangle. So x is equal to 35 degrees. Okay, calculate the value of y. X and y sits over here. Can we use the exterior angles of a triangle? No, because your angle has to be extended straight from your triangle that you are using. Okay, so please be careful with that. Okay, so let's quickly see for y. Y is very easy. Can you see that it's lying on a straight line? So y plus 104. I don't know why some students always forget the angles on a straight line or angles on a straight line. Thus y is going to be 86 degrees. Okay, so can you see angles on a straight line? Y is equal to 86. Sorry, not 86, 76. Sorry. My calculations in my head let me down. Okay, 76 degrees. And then lastly, calculate the size of Z. So I'm going to say OP. Just want to see for how many marks, if there wasn't an easier way of doing it. You could have also said with Z, you could also could have said interior angles of a triangle. Okay, you could have also used exterior angles of a triangle, but the easiest one would just be interior angles of a triangle. So 104 degrees plus 38, plus Z is equal to 180 because of interior angles of a triangle. Thus Z is equal to 38 degrees. Okay, like I said, remember we could have deduced there that should be the same because of the radii that is formed from the center of the circle. Okay, if PR is 25 centimeters, if PR is 25 centimeters, calculate the area of this circle. Calculate the area of the circle. Now, the area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, so now they say to you PR is 25. What do we need? We need the radius, which would be half of 25. So I'm going to say the radius is 25 over 2. So the radius is going to give you 12,5 centimeters. And then if I go pop that into my formula, I should get 490,9 centimeters. And because it's the area, it's going to be in centimeters squared. Okay, question 8. ABC, ABDC. ABDC is a parallelogram. What do we know about a parallelogram? Opposite sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles are equal, etc. Okay, with reasons, calculate the size of x. And people, the easiest way would have been working with your co-interior angles. So x plus 50 plus 2x minus 20 will give you 180. Why? Because of co-interior angles. AB is parallel to CD, and it has been indicated, so you didn't have to say that the opposite sides of a palm are parallel. Okay, because it has been indicated. So thus, x plus 2x is 3x, 50 minus 20 is plus 30, gives you 180. Thus, 3x is equal to 150. Divide by 3 on each side. Thus, x gives you 50 degrees. Okay, last two questions. Almost there. Take a breather. Get some sweeties. Do something nice. Okay, and then let's finish this video with similarity and congruency, just revising that. Okay, the following diagram is a circle with C as the midpoint of the circle. AE is and BD are straight lines that form the diameter of the circle. Points A, B, D, and E are points that touch the circumference of the circle. So basically what it tells me is that these sides are all the same length. Why? Because of radii. Okay, so prove that they are congruent. So congruency, I'm going to prove with side angle side. just to be a little bit faster. Side, the angle, and the side. Why is that? Because C1 is also equal to C2 because of vertically opposite angles. Okay, so I'm going to start with the obvious. C1 is equal to C2, vertically opposite angles. And then I don't know, is it this one equal to this one or that one equal to that one? Let me look at my picture. So AC should be equal to DC. So AC is equal to DC because of radii. And then BC is equal to EC, also because of radii. Thus, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEC because of side angle side. Okay, then they say, hence show that A1 is equal to D1. So A1 would be equal to D1. Do they play matchy-matchy with where they are standing? Yes. So I'm just going to state A1 is equal to D1. Why? Because I've proven that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEC. Last question, people. Last question. In the diagram below, DE is parallel to BC and BC is equal to 12, DE is equal to 3, and AC is equal to 8. So the one that's not been indicated here is that 8 over there. All right. Okay. So prove that triangle ABC is similar to triangle ADE. People, these questions are so repetitive. They can only ask so much. So really, it's very easy just to remember if there's parallel lines, your F over here. So I'm going to say D1 is equal to B1 and E1 is equal to C1 because of corresponding angles. A is equal to A because of it's a common angle. Okay, so I'm just going to go that quick. A is equal to A because of a common angles, not angles. And then I'm going to say D1 is equal to B1 because of corresponding angles, DE parallel to BC, as well as E1 is equal to C1 because of corresponding angles, DE parallel to BC. Thus, triangle ABC is similar to triangle ADE. Remember, similarity is angle, 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 or all sides in proportion, but I don't have all sides, so it's most likely all the time that you're going to prove it with angle, angle, angle. Then they say, determine the value of x. Okay, so I'm going to do my smiley right up. So AB over AD is equal to BC over DE is equal to AC over AE. So your smiley writes up first and second, second and last, first and last. Okay, and that is because triangle ABC is similar to triangle ADE. It's proven. Thus, all sides in proportion. Okay, what is AB's length? We don't have it, so this one again, we're not going to make use of that fraction. BC is 12, and DE is 3. AC, they told me, is 8. And AE is equal to x. Okay, I just want to make double sure. AC is 8 over AE, which is x. Okay, and then we can just do our cross multiplication. 12x is equal to 24. Thus, x is equal to 2. Okay, and if you just wanted to go double check it, so your x was 2, so 2 over 8 should be the same as 3 over 12, and if you go and simplify your fraction, you do get a quarter and a quarter. So yes, your answer is correct. Okay, grade nines, thank you so much for watching. Oh, I really appreciate all your support, and I love giving you videos that will help you throughout the exam. I hope it does. And yeah, just all the best with paper 2. Remember all your reasons and think clearly so that you can do very, very well. Okay, love you lots. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.